Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So first, let me apologize for my voice again. I'm sick, but at the same time, we still don't need to look sick. So we are actually going to be getting into these eyebrows here. They need to be touched up a little bit. I finally got the shape that I'm looking for. So I would like to maintain that shape, and I'm gonna show you guys how I do it. But the GG wax comes with the microwavable wax. It comes with a pre-honey treatment for the skin. It cleanses and disinfects everything before you actually put your wax on. It normally comes with like a wax remover, which is something oil-based. I don't have any more of it. It actually separated. So I just use regular coconut oil. It comes with a post-wax cooling gel, which is used to help with irritation and things like that on the skin after you are done with your complete wax service. And then the kit also comes with a slow grow. I don't really use this, but it is my understanding that it's supposed to help your wax last longer by slowing down the growth of the actual eyebrows. We will also be using the GG Petite applicators, and they are very small. They're the thin spatula applicators, and I actually take one of these and break them in half so I can have better control. A couple of other things that you guys might need if you want: some small thin point scissors to help cut in your shape if you need to do that, and then also tweezers if you need to grab some little fine hairs that the wax didn't pick up. So I am going to go ahead and get this microwaved for about 40 seconds, no more than 40 seconds. You don't want to burn the skin, and then we will come back and prep. I am about to be like sniffling, and I apologize. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But we must do something with these eyebrows. That is one thing that I can't help. And so we're going to do that. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and get prepped. So we are going to snap our applicator in half. This is so we can do one for each brow basically. Our wax, I really just use this paper towel just for protecting my surface so I don't get like wax over everything. So we're just gonna pull it off here, set the top to the side. We have our applicators all ready to go, and now we are going to use some cotton balls or cotton swabs to apply our pre-honey onto our skin so that we can make sure everything is disinfected really good, and then we will work to get all of our hairs in place and get started on the application. Let's get this hair out of the way and we're gonna get these together and let's talk about it. So first thing we wanna do, we wanna make sure that our area is disinfected because we are going to have exposed skin. We are about to break the skin with our wax. This is a soft wax, so it does remove the top layer of skin. So you want to make sure that the area that you're going to be applying wax to and its surrounding area is clean. And while you might think that your skin is clean, when you go back through, you'd be surprised. Like, look at that, even lost some hair. And you don't want that around the area that you're going to be working on. So it's always good to disinfect. Now what we're going to do is we are going to comb our eyebrows in the direction that we want to kind of create the flow. So I always like to brush my top portion up, and then the arch I bring out. So I'm gonna do that on both sides. This is just to prep the hair, to keep it out of the way, so that whenever I do apply the wax, you are able to kind of follow along. For the purpose of this video, I am going to use a pencil, a lighter toned pencil on my skin so that you can see the pattern that I will be applying the wax. If you are thinking about waxing your eyebrows on your own, then I would highly suggest that you use a pencil, just so that you can get used to the pattern that you want your eyebrows to be shaped in, before you just start freehanding. Because once you put it on there, you got to take it off. So we want to make sure that it's in the right spot first, okay? I always start with a straight line. I don't curve in this inner portion here. It's a straight line out. So I'm gonna go ahead and draw my line in this eyebrow so that you guys can see, and then I'll also do it again on the opposite side as well. So this line that I am putting in place, and it will totally be okay for you to apply wax on top of this line. It won't interfere with the actual hair removal. The line, it helps you to stay within the shape that you want to create within your eyebrows without having to guess, if that makes sense. So my beginning line is always a straight line. Now, whenever I come to the actual arch itself, I curve the line down, right? Curve that line down. And then you guys can see in the eyebrow itself, everything underneath this line or on this line, we are going to apply the wax to remove the hair. And we'll go ahead and do the other side as well. Now, as you are putting your pencil down, please don't think for a second you have to go fast. You can wipe this off, reapply it as many times as you need to so that you feel comfortable with the shape that you are going to be applying your wax. Okay, so I think that this looks good. Now, when it comes to where your arch should be, the rule of thumb is it should be, if you took the pencil and angled it, right, from your nose, your arch and your pupil should align at an angle, not straight up and down, but at an angle, like maybe 45 degrees, I want to say this is. So at a 45-degree angle from your pupil to the arch is where your eyebrow should be. So if we do that, we are aligned. It's almost like nostril to pupil to arch even, to create a V shape in the face. I don't know. It works for me, honey, so that's what we calling it. That's the easy part, I ain't gonna lie. When it actually comes to applying the wax, less is more. It's always better to start off with a little bit and then add more wax to it until you get used to manipulating the wax, than to try to start off with a large amount of wax and then having too much and you don't have anywhere to put it, or you just keep piling it on. You don't want to do that. So you want to start off with a little bit. We started off by heating the wax up on 40 seconds. The instructions call for 30 seconds. But for me, I like my wax to be a little bit looser. When I am applying it, it gives me more control, and I don't have as much pull on my skin. But you must be aware though that if the wax is too hot, you can burn the skin. This skin above the eye is very, very thin and very, very sensitive. So it does not take a lot in order to harm it. 30 seconds is the rule, no more than 45. And if you do it on 45, it's because you got like another three to 5 minutes worth of back and forth you need to do and getting yourself prepped before you actually use the wax. Okay, so it's moving, but it's not moving really fast. You see, it's like taking a long time for it to dip. If it was really hot, it would be dripping, and that's when you know it's way too hot to use. You don't want to use it then. All right, so we're good to go here. So now I'm going to apply the wax. When I do apply the wax, I do pull my eyebrow taunt is what it's called. I do pull it out, right, just to help show that shape within the eyebrow. And then we just apply. Again, your line is there to show you what area to stay within. As long as you stay within that line, or don't go above it, should I say, you're good to go. You guys will also see that I am applying the wax in the way that I drew my line in with pencil. Now, I will be honest, this line is actually throwing me off a little bit because I've gotten used to doing it without one. But I want to make sure that you guys see what it is that I'm doing, so we'll keep it going. All right, so that should be enough. I start off with a larger amount of wax just because I'm used to working with it, but it's totally okay to do to apply a little bit and then apply a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more until you reach all the way around. That's okay. You don't have to try to apply it all at one time. As long as the wax is still kind of soft, then you'll be okay. This particular wax is the hemp wax. It stays relatively soft through even in its chilled form, so it's really good to work with. The strip, we're gonna use this. Now Gigi, they have two different kinds of strips. They have these epilating strips, and then they also have a cloth strip as well. I prefer these because with the cloth strips, for whatever reason, the wax kind of seeps through. So it just gets messy because wax is very sticky. Now, when you are applying this strip, I just laid it on there. I haven't pressed it down or anything, and as you can see, it's hanging out, right? Now, whenever you go to actually press on the strip, you don't want to use a bunch of pressure, because the more pressure that you apply, the tougher of a hold, or the more firmer of a hold the wax will have to the skin. So you don't want to press on it. You just want to lightly rub across it, right? Wherever you have applied wax, you want to lightly rub. Like, I'm not pressing hard at all. I'm using no pressure. And if I had to measure it, I would maybe be using 5 to 7% pressure. That's how light. Gently just rubbing it so that the strip adheres to the wax and not so much the wax adhering to the skin, if that makes sense. Just do this a little more. Okay, now this is the gangster part. When you are pulling the strip off, you want to pull the skin in the opposite direction that you are going to pull the strip. So You always want to pull the hair off in the opposite direction that it grows. So the hair grows in this direction, like this. So I am going to pull the strip in this direction against the grain. With me pulling it in this direction, I'm going to pull the skin back in the opposite direction. And child, I mean, there's nothing more you can do here than just count. That's all. Whew, okay. And as you can see, we did pretty good. We stayed underneath the line. Not too much hair is left over. We have a little bit on our strip here. Now there is a little bit of wax residue that's left over. No worries, just fold your strip over and we are going to continue in the opposite direction, okay, until we have removed all the wax. And this is what we have left. A few little fine hairs got grabbed. Overall, it looks like we cleaned it up okay. Still a few little pieces here that we will get with our tweezer here after we finish with the other side. So let's go ahead and do the other eye really quick, and then we'll go back through and just maintenance and clean the wild hairs up. Woo. Baby, that one was something, okay? But that one, for whatever reason, is always a cleaner wax than the other. I always take a swab, a flat cotton swab, and I just stick it straight down in there. Not to use my fingers in any way, just the cotton. And then we are going to spread this coconut oil, okay, across the skin to help remove the residue, any leftover wax that might be attached. You will see where it's at because it'll like hang around. So you just gently rub with a little extra pressure just to remove the wax. The oil will eventually allow it to lift until it wipes away, okay? Just do the same thing on the other side. And then we can better see what loose hairs we might need to pluck, if we need to pluck any. Let's take a look. We will brush our hairs back up. And you want to kind of get them in the shape that you want them to be, so you can see where it needs to go in and do a little more maintenance if that's what you need. Now, in looking at these, in this area here, there's a few hairs that need to be plucked out right in here. So we're gonna go ahead and take our tweezers. I always pull the skin taut here as well. It just helps because one hair at a time that's just so intense for me. So we're just gonna tweeze these few hairs out the way. It is helpful when you're tweezing if you can get to the base of the hair and pull from the base of the hair shaft. It creates a much easier tweezing process, and you won't be breaking the hair in the middle. Okay. And this brow looks good to me. Now, I'm going to take a clean cotton swab, remove the excess oil from my skin on both sides. And then we are going to take one more cotton swab here, and then we are going to use our post-wax cooling gel to kind of help get rid of this redness that is here from the irritation of the wax. Let me pre-warn you, this do sting a little bit. I feel like it has peroxide in it or something, some sort of disinfectant. But then it also has some aloe vera and maybe like some eucalyptus or something like that, because it has a cooling effect. But it definitely does get warm. It can get hot depending on you know, how you've broken the skin. So just be warned that that does definitely happen. So let's go ahead and apply this, and then we can talk more. Now, I'm not even gonna lie, child. I'll be starting in the middle so I can kind of prepare myself in the event of something real spicy happening. Whew. Not too bad. Oh no, that's fine. That was a good wax. All right, and now the eyebrows are complete and finished. Before and after. One of the first things to keep in mind is with soft wax, it is very different from hard wax. Soft wax requires a strip. So if at any point in time you're getting anything waxed and they put a strip on it, that is considered a soft wax. Soft wax adheres to the hair as well as to the top layer of skin, versus a hard wax that does not involve any sort of strip or anything, and you actually want to press that a bit firmer and until it's completely hardened, what's considered to be hardened, where it can be lifted and ripped away. I have never seen anyone use hard wax for eyebrows. I'm not saying that you can't, but I'm just thinking in regards to the control of hard wax, it might be a bit difficult, but that's totally up to you if it's something that you want to do, okay? Another thing, once you put a strip on, once you put wax in the spot and you put the strip on and you rip that strip off, you should not, I repeat, you should not apply more wax to that same area. If you've applied wax once, that's all you got. That's why you have your tweezers, so that you can get the extra hairs that you need to get. So you want to make sure whenever you put that wax down that that's where you want it to be. If you don't want the wax there, then don't add the strip. Take you something oily, coconut oil, whatever oil you have, and put and like saturate that area with oil and wipe it away. Because once you rip it off, that top layer is gone. So if you go back and you apply more wax to a layer of skin that already has lost a layer, then you're just gonna further pull away from the skin. So keep that in mind. You always want to make sure that you are working with a clean, sanitized surface. That goes for your eyebrows as well as your hands. You guys did not see me, but I did apply hand sanitizer to my hands before I started manipulating and working with my eyebrows. It will keep your eyebrows from getting irritated and agitated within the pores. as they're opened. One thing I did not do with this particular wax, because I did it the last wax, is wax the top of my eyebrows. I try to go every other wax with waxing the top half, just because I mean, the vavoom comes from this bottom here. The top is just when the shading starts, or it starts to become more shaded and less defined. I'm still comfortable with where they are right now, so I'm not going to worry about it this time. But next wax, I will definitely go over how I apply and the shape for the top of my eyebrows as well. All right, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and getting these eyebrows together, honey, okay? Just because I am sick does not mean I'm supposed to look unkept. That's absolutely unacceptable.